are a ton of reports going around that the New York Knicks asking price for Cam Reddish appears to be a second-round pick or a player on a rookie contract with a different skill set, per Steve Popper, as one of the first people, I believe, to report this. Now, obviously, Cam Reddish's time with New York is very likely done. The Knicks traded him to the Lakers last season before the deal ended up falling through because the Knicks got greedy at like the final seconds as they're like filing the paperwork. Cam Reddish doesn't want to be there. There's all the reports that he's working with Clutch Sports, by the way. He's also a Clutch client, but he's working with his agent to try to get traded and worked out a deal for a destination. The Lakers have been linked to Cam Reddish on several occasions. He'd be just a perfect fit, right? A guy, good size, wing depth. We really need a player of his skill set. Now, look, Cam Reddish, because I've seen a lot of people ask, like, how much will Cam Reddish actually help the Lakers? He's not going to come in and all of a sudden be, Larry Bird, right? He's not going to come in and make us a contender. But what he does do is he provides some stability on the wing, a sizable defender, also a guy that can play the 3 or the 4 spot, knock down some shots. He's not an elite 3-point shooter, but he's still only 22 years old. This is a move that is cheap, that is low risk, high reward, that gives you some size on the wing that the Lakers desperately need, and a guy that's younger than like half the people drafted this year. It's a guy that can legitimately help with just rebounding, playing defense, just having size of the big body. Whatever offensive output he gives you is great. It's perfect. Would you rather have Patrick Beverley guarding wing players, or would you rather have a guy that's 6'8", 250 or whatever, guarding wing players, right? This guy, I think, worst case scenario, I think his floor is like a Harrison Barnes. I think he's realistically probably like a Jeremy Grant style player. Who knows? Maybe he could even be better. But this is a guy that I don't think is going to end up being the next great superstar in the league, anything like that. But he's a guy that hasn't gotten a fair opportunity. He's a guy that the Atlanta Hawks, they drafted him and immediately went and got like 5 guys that play his part. And he's a rookie. So they were like, okay, let's trade him, give him an opportunity. The Knicks tried to trade for him, and Tibbs was like, do not trade for Cam Reddish. I don't want Cam Reddish. If he comes, I'm not going to play him. And they still went and traded for Cam Reddish, and that's exactly what Tibbs did. He didn't play him, doesn't like him, doesn't want him, any of that stuff. And look, there are talks dating back to even Duke about his work ethic and him, not being a guy that wants to give 100%, but you're going to be on a team with like LeBron James, guys like that. They'll get the most out of him. If anyone can get the most out of Cam Reddish, it is probably LeBron James. I imagine his production as in a stable role would probably go up. I mean, the guy's averaging like 10, just under 11 points per game, and like inconsistent minutes, inconsistent play, and limited minutes, right? And the guy's still averaging like 10 points a game. Imagine what he could do in consistent, 15 to 20 minutes a game. I think he could be a guy that consistently could give you probably 12 to 15 a night. He's a guy that he's going to get looks that he's never gotten before because you're going to be playing next to LeBron James, Anthony Davis, guys like that. He's a guy with a ton of potential. This is a play for now, but also primarily for the future. And if it's all it is a second round pick, go do that. Even if you have to give up 2 or 3 second round picks, go do it. If there's another team that's willing to give up a second round pick for Cam Reddish and they're like, we're not going to trade, then trade another one. You got Chicago's second round pick this year too. Trade Chicago's and yours, go get Cam Reddish. Because ideally what you're going to be trying to get in the second round is best case scenario, a guy like Cam Reddish, right? A guy that has size, that can guard the perimeter, that can guard multiple positions, that can play multiple positions, that can shoot the 3 ball. And the difference is he's a guy that has NBA experience, right? Like this is a guy that realistically, like if he got drafted this year, everyone would be talking about how like the Lakers got an absolute steal, like this guy's going to be the next star, all that stuff. But because he's been in the league several years now and hasn't really been able to perform, which isn't to his fault. Imagine if even stars in today's league, imagine if they went to a team and just didn't get to play, or the team just didn't want them. Imagine Luka went to Dallas and Dallas was like, oh, we don't want to play this young guy. Like, he's terrible. I don't want to play this guy. Like, you're going to get 10 minutes a game. Imagine what we think. And I'm not saying that Reddish is Luka or anything like that, but I'm saying it's hard to really show what you can do when you haven't gotten a fair shot since you came in the league. Atlanta went veteran led, which is fine. And look, they ended up making an Eastern Conference Finals because of it. So They made the right decision in that regard. And so they tried to give Cam Reddish a fair opportunity and traded him to the Knicks. And the Knicks didn't want him. So much so that like 2 weeks later, the Knicks tried to trade him to the Lakers. And the Lakers would have gotten him, which would have been nice. It would have been nice to get him last year. But the Lakers can get him this year. I don't care what you got to do. If you got to give up 2 seconds, give up 2 seconds, whatever. As long you're not giving up a first, nobody's trading the farm for Cam Reddish, right? He's a cheap acquisition. Again, low risk, high reward type move. Best case scenario, he's a 6'8 guy that can play both forward spots, guard multiple positions, and help our defense. Maybe grab 5 or 6 rebounds a game because that's a big problem too, right? We're 29th in defensive rebounding. And a lot of that is because we're not good defending the perimeter. So a lot of teams are shooting the three and we don't have the size to get those long rebounds, right? Because you got like Patrick Beverley trying to jump up and out rebound a 6'8 guy. Like it's not going to happen. Right? But if you start getting guys like Cam Reddish and things like that, now you got guys that can go up there and get the rebound. So if he could just come in and give us, 10, 6, and 2 or something, right? That's perfect. That's all we need. Play some solid defense, all that stuff. He can't be worse than Patrick Beverley, right? He can't. And he's got size, right? So even if he just comes in and he's a sizable guy that just guards the best player on the other team every night, that's perfect, right? Got some good size, especially in the Western Conference. We're going to need it. We're going to need a guy like him against, the Paul Georges and Kawhi Leonards, against the Mavs. Have a guy that has size that you could put on like Luka, stuff like that. Like you need a guy like Cam Reddish on your team. And he's cheap. He's reasonable. He's young. So you imagine he's only going to get better. He's only going to improve. And if you give him a fair role and a fair opportunity, I really think that he's a guy that could really help. I think he's a guy that could come in and actually make an impact. Again, I don't think he's going to make an impact in the sense of like, oh, we get Cam Reddish and now we're a contender. I don't think it's going to be that. Like, I don't think he's going to be Jeremy Grant this year. But can he just be serviceable? Can he just be a solid 3-and-D guy? Can he just be, a middle of the pack guy? Because that's all we need for this team, especially from a 22-year-old, right? Like, and with the fair opportunity, I believe he can deliver. I really do. I mean, look at like Austin Reeves, right? Like when the Lakers drafted Austin Reeves, nobody thought he was going to be anything major, but he got consistent minutes that he earned and he worked for and he played. But he also had coaches that gave him an opportunity that if he played well, they continued to play him. Cam Reddish has, like a 30-point game and then Tibbs plays him 5 minutes the next game. It's like, why? Like give the kid an opportunity. And I really think that given the right opportunity, given the right role, given the right environment, which he would get all that stuff with the Lakers, he's going to get a role. Is he a guy that's going to close out games and stuff? Probably not. And this isn't going to be the final move. Like the Lakers aren't going to trade for Cam Reddish and then that's the be all end all. No, they're going to trade for Cam Reddish and they're probably still going to go trade for some other guys. But if they can get Cam Reddish, he's a guy that I think realistically probably plays 15 to 20 minutes a game, night in and night out. And I could see him in that time getting us, 8 to 10 points a game. Like that's perfect. I am all for that. We don't need a guy. We're not getting Cam Reddish and trading a second round pick for him and expecting him to come in and be, Bojan Bogdanovic tonight, right? Where he's giving you 38 points. Like, no. Is he a guy that can? Yes, he's shown. He can have a 20-point night, a 30-point night. He's done it, right? So what can he do consistently, though? That's the question. Can he give us 10 to 15 points night in and out? If he can, it's a home run trade, home run deal. Because not only is he giving us 10 to 15 a night, but he's also a guy that is 6'8", that is guarding multiple positions and playing solid defense. I mean, Darvin Ham was able to get Russell Westbrook to be one of the best guard defenders in the league. And he's usually guarding guys bigger than him. And he's still one of the best guards in the league. Like, it's just defensive guards in the league. So, if he could do that with him, I think he could turn Cam Reddish into a serviceable defender. He can't be worse than the defense we're playing right now. So, no matter how you shake it, it's an opportunity. It's cheap. I hope we wake up tomorrow to Cam Reddish. Because you don't need to it doesn't have to be some major deal. Like, literally, you could trade Damian Jones, JTA, and Troy Brown for Cam Reddish if you need to. Right? And still keep Patrick Beverley, still keep Kendrick Nunn, still keep Russell Westbrook, and then go do another deal. Then maybe take Nunn and Bev and go get, a Bojan or something like that. Whatever. So if the Lakers can do it, they need to make it happen. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers should go and get Cam Reddish? Do you think this needs to happen ASAP? Now, look, if that really is the deal, I imagine the Lakers get the deal done soon. They're on the road, so they should be back tomorrow. I hope the deal gets done tomorrow. I hope it gets done, tonight even. As you're watching this video, I hope there's an announcement that, the deal got done. But I do think it happens sooner rather than later. I could imagine. I would love for it to happen tomorrow because then maybe we could have him for the Chicago or the Celtics game, which would be huge. Because then now we have a guy that could guard Tatum and Brown. And we need that. We need that badly, especially if we're going to win that game. So if we could get Cam Reddish this time tomorrow and have him in, because it's not going to take a lot for him to get acclimated, right? We're not going to be demanding him to come in and get 20 points a game. He's going to be a role guy that is going to come in and just provide role minutes, right? So I don't think it's going to be a chemistry issue or a fit or hard to kind of get him in. Come in, play defense, hit open shots. That's all we need you to do. And I think he will. But anyway, again, however you feel, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between.